Okay, so let's take a look what's going on there. This lick is formed up around the 12th fret area of the guitar, and what you'll notice when you read my book is that I'm a big advocate of using the caged system to help you visualize chords. So this particular lick sits around this chord form. Let's just play that chord form now. This is an A7 chord, and I'm using the C shape of the cage system. So that sounds like this. That's 12 on the A string, 11 on the D, 12 on the G, and 10 on the B. When I'm in that position, what that helps me do is transpose this lick. So the lick, if I needed to play that in the key of E, I move my chord form. Bit of a trickier bend down there. And the lick is then transposed. So this helps me play these licks in any given key. And what you'll notice from country guitar, at least in my book, is we're always thinking about harmony and the chords that are being used, so our lines sound like the chord, which to my ears is a big part of the country style. Anyway, so once we're in this chord form, we're bending from the 12th fret on the B string, up a tone. We then hit the 12 on the high E string, but hold that bend on the B string. We then pick the bent note, then play the 10th fret on the high E string, and again, this is holding that bend. So we then re-pick the bent note, release the bend, and then pull off to the 10th fret. Now, if you're paying careful attention, what you might notice is that I'm hybrid picking there. I'm using the middle finger to play the high E string, picking the B string using my middle finger to play the high E. I then slide this note down a tone, bend that up, and then play the 9th fret on the high E string. And that's a hard one to get in pitch. Play that high E note twice. Now that all sounds like an A chord. And that's the point. It outlines an A chord very nicely. And the beauty of the cage system is once you've got the lick under your fingers, as long as I can see this chord form, if I need to play the lick in, let's say I need to play the lick in C, take the chord form, move it up to the C shape, or sorry, the C note, 15th fret E. All there under your fingers. So that's lick number 1. Okay, so lick number 2 uses some triplet ideas and again moves around caged forms for an A triad, a G triad, and then back to an A triad. Now it's important that you have those chord forms under your belt before learning the lick, because the chord forms are what help me visualize the lick, my roadmap. Otherwise it's just a series of notes that you're copying rather than a real strong roadmap that you can play out of and vary. I might play, but maybe I'll go whatever it is I happen to do. It's those chord forms that allow me to do that. So the chords would be, again, out of the C shape. If we just stick to the top 4 notes, that would give us a third in the bass, the third of the chord. That's 11 on the D, 9 on the G, 10 on the B, and 9 on the high E. This then just moves down a tone, to a G, root would be 10th fret of the A string, and then to an A triad out of the E shape of the cage system. That would be 7 on the D, 6 on the G, 5 on the B, and 5 on high E. So the lick sounds like this when played slowly. So lots of double stops in there. I'm picking the 10th fret of the D string, sliding up to 11, then I play 9, 11 on the G string. So, and picking wise, I do that with a pick and a slide. I use my middle finger and then downstroke on the 11. The double stop on the top strings is 10 on the B and 9 on the high E. That's played with these two fingers. This then moves down chromatically 2 frets, so now that works great. Sounds like an A chord. Now to finish things, I jump over to the 7th fret with my 3rd finger, and I play 5 and 5 on the high E, 7 on the D again, 7 and 7 on the G and B, 7 on the D again, and then I play 5 and 4 on the G and B strings, slide that up a semitone, and then finish the lick by hitting the 7th fret of the D string. So, great little country lick. Very Brent Mason or Albert Lee. So that's lick number 2. Lick number 3 outlines our D chord, and there's 2 short licks here. The first part sounds like this. And again, this is caged knowledge. What I'm doing is I'm visualizing an A shape, a D chord, and the A bar. And I'm playing the top 2 notes of that, and then I'm walking up to the E shape. So that would be 7 and 7 on the G and B strings, 9 and 8 on the G and B, chromatically up, and then one more time, and then I can hit 10 and 10 on the B and high E strings. And that's a big part of the country style, double stops. Massive part of the style. So that's the first part of the lick. You could call that the question. The answer is this. Now, I like this lick. I'm playing 7 and 7 on the D and G strings, and I'm keeping this D note on top at all times. So the high note stays as D, but the bottom note descends. So I pick, move down a semitone, pick and pull off. I then hit the 7th fret on the A string, but it's kind of muted. And then we have a trickier position where we're playing the D note, the 7th fret of the G string, but also an F, so the 3rd note on the D string, and sliding up a semitone. And then I end with a D note on the 5th fret of the A string. So the whole lick now that sounds, although I'm using the same pool of notes that I was using over the A, it sounds like a D because I'm targeting notes that are important to a D chord, so it sounds like this. It doesn't sound like an A. It should be. So you can play the same lick but in A. So that's lick number 3. Lick number 4 takes us back to the A chord. So not too tricky a lick. If I play it from the D, sounds like a D. D. Chord changes to an A. So it sounds like that chord. And again, I'm playing out of these chord forms. I'm playing a big E-shaped bar form, 6 and 5 on the G and B, and I move down chromatically. Now that's the same thing as what we did in D, but just starting on the higher note, doing it in A. So I play. So when I'm down here, I move down from my open A bar chord, double stop on the G and B, and then 4 on the D string, pull off to 2, 3 on the A string, 4 on the A, then 2 and 2 on the D and G strings, and then hit the open A. So not too tricky a lick. Definitely a cool lick. And the sort of lick that, again, if I needed to play that in D, because my chord knowledge is there, if I need to do it in E, if I need to do it in C, it's all there. You'll really want to dig into the book though if you want to see some of the benefits of the cage system. So there you go, there's that lick. Okay, so lick number 5 outlines an E and a D. Quite a tricky lick. So the E, again, we're playing off this triplet idea that we played in A. We do that down here on an E, so I'm sliding from the 3rd fret on the E up to the 4th fret. Then I hit 2, 4, then 2 and 1 on the D and G strings. That's the same sort of thing, right? Not too tricky. So that's our lick for E. Now the lick for D is trickier, but it's the same thing as we did in A. But now using this chord form. So the lick sounds like this. So I'm adding more notes in now. So we're playing 3 on the D, slide up to 4, 2, 4 on the G, double stop 3 and 2. Now we're descending 4, 2, then we have 4, 3, 2, 0. And then because I'm moving back to A, I play 3, 4 on the A and the end with an A. So we have an E, and then a D, and then an A. D, back to my A. So tricky little lick, but not impossible. So take that one slowly, and I'm sure you'll get there. The final lick outlines our A chord at the end moving to an E. So what we have at the end of our last lick where we played, we've ended on this open A power chord. And to finish it, what I do is I go, so I'm thinking around an A, I'm keeping the A on the G string, but the bottom note descends. I then hit the 3rd fret on the A string, slide up a semitone, 2-4 on the D, 2 and 2 on the B and E strings, sorry, G and B, and then change my perspective and think about the E chord, slide into the 6th fret of the D string, which is the 3rd of E, then hit the root, the B, 5th fret on the B string, and then an open E. So the whole lick now our whole solo together is going to start to sound like chord changes. And there you go, there's our final lick in this country solo. And there we have it, that's all we have for this particular part. As I say, if you have enjoyed this, you can find a link to my book below. Checking that out and picking up a copy of that helps me out, and more importantly, it's going to help you guys out develop your country playing and really get to grips with the meat and potatoes of the style, as they say. Lastly, this video has been brought to you by my supporters on patreon.com. You can also find a link to that below if you want to support my channel and help me keep creating great content like this. Supporting me there is the first step in doing that. These guys on the screen now support me at a $10 tier, and their help is really appreciated. Thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of my heart. It really does help to make a difference in my day-to-day life. If you're not interested in my Patreon, that's also fine. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can subscribe to my channel, like, comment, all of that good stuff. It really does help in ways that are hard to put across in words, actually. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you for another video on this channel soon. Peace out, bye.